This episode is brought to you by Distill Union. Hi everyone, this is Edgar, the host of Snug Wrestling. They design everyday carry gear with one simple idea: less but better. From slim Wally wallets with magnetic closures to Ferris key organizers, they keep everything clean and quiet. Distill Union makes carrying your essentials effortless. Built from full grain leather and backed by a 3-year warranty, simplify your carry and save 20% off with promo code SNUG at distillunion.com. That's 20% off with promo code SNUG at distillunion.com.
Hey, this is your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle, and you're listening to Snug Wrestling. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the weekly one-on-one with Edgar and Mr. Bludd here at the Snug Wrestling Podcast. And we're celebrating a one-year anniversary of PENTA Zero Miedo as an official WWE Superstar. I posted this a few days ago, and most of the reactions that I got in the comments was very negative when it comes to Penta's, time in the WWE so far. So that's what we're going to be covering here mostly today. So be sure to double tap that screen. Be sure to comment. Let us know your thoughts on, Penta's career so far. That fucking year flew by, man, really, really fast. I feel like Penta's been in the WWE a lot longer than just 1 year. So yeah, we'll see what Mr. Bludd thinks about all this. Welcome, Mr. Bludd. Good to have you here, like always.
Thanks for having me. Obviously, we're on the same team. We run the same podcast together. But always great to do this on Thursdays. I do want to shout out some people in the comments. William Brewer, any development in the Raja Jackson case? Actually, no, nothing of note. I've got to double check to see how that's going. But I will keep you updated. I haven't done any Blood Drop episodes in a while because I've been extremely busy in my personal life, but I do mean to make some changes to that since we are in the new year. Shout out to Dwayne Cashman, great friend of the podcast, independent professional wrestler, multi-time champion across the independent scene, who says he is currently in an angle for the Southern Junior Heavyweight Championship. So good for you, Dwayne. And you can check out Dwayne's interview with us on the Snug Wrestling Podcast on Apple and Spotify from middle of last year. But other than that, man, I'm doing really good today. We got a lot of wrestling content we're doing this weekend, next week. Of course, obviously, last night we did predictions for this weekend, Saturday night's main event. Before that, we did the NXT review, you and Tommy, our good friend Tommy, who's also a part of our panel. Monday, we had the Raw review. Tonight, we're doing the one-on-one. Tomorrow night is SmackDown, and Saturday after show is the review for Saturday night's main event. Back to Monday, back to Wednesday, again for predictions for Royal Rumble and the NXT review. Thursday night, one-on-one again, SmackDown, and then the Rumble review. So it's going to be crazy, and of course, our fearless leader, Edgar, right there, the head of Snug Wrestling, is also traveling for that week and for some special content that he will be doing. I don't want to reveal it unless he wants to say what it is, but it will be wrestling related during and for Rumble weekend. So you guys, make sure you're kicking it with us everywhere on all the social medias, and you can catch all of our live shows, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 o'clock Central, every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, man, all those plugs aside, going to be a crazy end of this month.
Yeah, I'm also doing another live after this too on YouTube, Facebook, and X with the homies from the Triggered Wrestling Podcast. We're going to be talking about Unreal and all the shit that's been happening with that. So, yeah, man, we're banging out a whole bunch of fucking content. But it's fun, man. We love to do this shit.
Yeah, I got the last 15 minutes of the final episode of Unreal Season 2 to finish later tonight. I love the show. I really do. But also, it's got some good news for the podcast in general, guys, for as far as it goes for the Thursday nights. TikTok officially is under new ownership as of today. There is no more ban, no more goodbye of TikTok. As of today, it's been made official. There are 3 investors that now have the platform. So TikTok will not be getting banned, which means you will not be losing us on our weekly lives either. That is something we were worried about and wondering because we interact with you guys. We love it here. So just going forward, just so you know, for the time being at least, while we wait to see how that deal finalizes. TikTok's here to stay, guys, and so is Snug Wrestling on Thursday fucking night. So if you're not already following us, be sure to click on Edgar's Snug Wrestling channel and mine and follow the full podcast channel and my channel as well. We'd really appreciate you.
Wow, that is good news. Yeah, I love TikTok, so I'm glad to hear that it's not going anywhere, again, at least for now. So we're officially in the new year, Mr. Blood, January 22nd, which is about 9 days after Penta's 1-year anniversary. Penta Raw debut was January 13th, which was right before the Rumble of last year. And again, man, a lot of people not impressed with Penta's run so far in the WWE. I'm not one of them. All right. I believe that, call me a WWE fanboy or fed or whatever the fuck people, call WWE fans nowadays. But I genuinely think the stuff that they've been doing with Penta in the WWE has worked wonders for Penta. To get started, Penta in just the year of 2025 has had a total of 6 Intercontinental title matches, which is crazy to think about because I can't remember or ever hearing of another wrestler, at least in recent time, that's had that many title shots in 1 year.
Maxine Dupree comes close, and I guess you could say maybe Jey Uso beginning of last year. But of recent memory, it is, and I would say Chelsea Green and Julia back and forth with the Women's United States Championship. And some of the tag titles, but not that high profile. Because I don't care what anybody says, the IC belt to me is one of the most important championships in all of professional wrestling, not just WWE. The lineage of that, the megastars, the legends, the guys who have paved the fucking way for the industry in the mainstream and before the mainstream. Literally, you can go down a list of Hall of Famers, and the list and the page just keeps turning of people who have held that title. And to be able to vie for that, let alone just hold it, to vie for that title, I think is an extreme honor, but also it shows me that the company looks at you and goes, hey, we believe that you are deserving of going for the workhorse title. Whereas the U.S. championship before these open challenges always felt like the U.S. championship kind of felt like the entertainment title. Kind of like the WWE title feels like the entertainment title side of the WWE versus the heavyweight championship feeling like the workhorse main world title. The Intercontinental title feels like the workhorse mid-card title and so on and so forth. And I think him having it or having the chance to go for it time and time again is insanely awesome. I would also like to note, I'm surprised that when it comes down to January 13th being his debut of last year, kind of surprised they didn't just hold off till the Rumble itself, right? Give him that crazy pop at the Rumble just like 3 weeks later. They were like, nah, just January 13th Raw, But I think it's awesome. I'm with you. The only thing I think that has been kind of a lull point for his entire WWE run so far is just the stuff with Rusev. Other than that, and that's been like 15% of it, 10% of it. That was like 5-6 weeks worth of feud. And the crap the New Day that was involved in, that stuff too, those have been the lowest points. Everything else surrounding like a 2-month period, everything else has been exquisite. The guy is over as fucking hell. And if you watch WWE Unreal Season 2, you really get an in-depth look at who Penta is, what it means to him. I didn't even know this man ran and owned his own professional wrestling promotion for youths in Mexico. Some of those kids in those episodes, dude, those kids looked and worked more conditioned than like half the roster. Mm-hmm. Those kids looked amazing. He's a great teacher, but he's a megastar. The guy is a fucking star. If Rey Mysterio retired tomorrow, Lucha Libre in the mainstream is in great hands. Penta, Zero Miedo, no fear. The guy is fucking just that good. I don't care what anybody says. He's insane. I hope to God he's in the world title picture this year. I really hope, because I feel like he was ready 6 months ago.
I think the WWE is getting him ready for that role because he had a couple dark matches for the World Heavyweight Championship. It wasn't televised, but that still says something. You know, hey, we're gonna put you with our top guy just to see, you know, how the fans react to you versus a major champion. I think it was like versus Gunther when he was champion at the time. I don't remember who it was, but I mean, yeah, I mean, even though it doesn't really go down in the record books or it doesn't really count or whatever, I mean, what does the dark matches, what are they for? You know, it's kind of for the WWE to scope out to see what you can do if that was a team. So that says something to me, but this whole thing with the Intercontinental Championship having 6 title matches, right? Yes, he's had 6 title matches, but he hasn't won any of them. And I think that's one of the major arguments that a lot of the comments in our socials were saying is like, well, he's been there 1 year. He's had all these title matches, but he hasn't won any championships. What has he done? What major feud has he been in? What major storyline has he been in? And again, I don't think you necessarily have to win championships right off the bat your first year coming in to be relevant. You know, I think Penta's relevant. But where do you fall on this, Blood? This whole thing of, well, he hasn't won any championships. What have they done with him? You know, where do you land on that?
So, John Cena didn't win his first title for like, what, 2.5 years? His first championship he ever won on the WWE roster was the U.S. Championship. That was like, what, 2004, 2005? He won that first fucking title. He debuted in 2002. Mm-hmm. You don't have, and look at him. He's considered the greatest of all time. He had a whole retirement tour. What other wrestler can say that? You don't need championships to be considered a success. When was the last time Rey held a championship? Rey Mysterio.
Oh my God.
Arguably the greatest lucha libre of all time, luchador of all time. It was the U.S. championship, and it was when he was feuding with Logan Paul, and that was 2.5 years ago. But right. But that man could walk into a room and sneeze and get a standing ovation. So when it comes down to it, you do not need titles to be over. How long did it take Drew to finally get an actual championship run? Not just 5 minutes and 35 seconds at Mania, an actual run. And he was still one of the most over heels on the roster. You know, Roman Reigns held a title for 4 years, and now he hasn't held a championship in over 2, or almost 2. Over every time he blinks in the crowd's direction. Penta is great for 2 specific things. One, he is great because across the board on the roster, he offers a totally different vibe. A totally different, you can say, oh, it's reminiscent of this and that. No. How many people on the roster in 2026 have pyro? Not just 1 pyro in their entrance, 2. This guy, that was what he's great at. His presentation and presenting himself is insanely good. He has great character work and just understands how to connect with the audience. And 2, he's completely in with the kids. And WWE is a family company that mostly spends most of their time peddling and predicating and trying to pander to the younger audience. Most of their merch is bought by children or bought for children. Toy belts, toys, merchandise, video games, you name it. He's in with them. So to me, you do not need to have dark matches to get over, to have some crazy main big storyline to be a big star. You just need to have it. Mm-hmm. And also be in with the crowd, because the crowd, as Triple H just kept singing in the Unreal Season 2, the crowd is the biggest barometer. It's about what they say. They are our biggest telltale of what's working and what's not. Well, when Penta comes out, the motherfucker is.
I want to give a quick shout out to Brian Barry. Thank you for the follow. He says, this is off topic, but we'll get back to Penta here in a bit. Did Heyman call The Rock on Adam Pearce?
I don't think he called The Rock. I think it's going to be some ambiguous fucking, higher up authority that he spoke to. I spoke to the execs or the board members or something like that. And if he says board members, maybe that hints to The Rock a little bit, because he is obviously the president of the board. But when it comes down to it, I don't think it was The Rock. The Rock has made it clear that he's focused on Hollywood right now. He's focused on, he's got the Oscars coming up here in like a month and a half. and he's focusing on trying to reinvigorate and evolve his film career into a more serious actor. So he's not getting involved in WWE anytime soon. I seriously doubt it.
Yeah, if The Rock isn't coming back for WrestleMania for the main event with John Cena, Cody Rhodes, and also, a major star like Travis Scott, I don't think he's coming back for an angle with Braun Breaker on Monday Night Raw. I don't see that happening.
Yeah. I mean, if he wouldn't come back to set up Roman versus himself.
But yeah, we got a few people in here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Be sure to double tap the screen, share the live, and comment. Going back to this Penta thing, man. Again, I gotta argue that for the 1 year that Penta has been in the WWE, they've been doing amazing things with him. I mean, love him or hate him. This is just comparing him because I've seen Penta when he was in AEW. Yes, he won all these championships in AEW, but this is the biggest version of Penta that I've seen, just like as a major star, just the fanfare, the crowd reaction, the pops that he gets on weekly basis every time he goes out there. Whatever they're doing in the WWE, working.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but in case you're clipping this, I've got to say this whatever your feelings are about WWE, let's say if you're a massive AEW fan or you hate WWE or you're anti-WWE, no matter what you think of WWE, know this as a fucking cold hard fact. No one in the professional wrestling world, in any professional wrestling company, could have ever even hoped nor attempted to give Penta the presentation that he is getting right now. No one could have come close. I don't care how rich Tony Khan is. He was never going to give Penta the spotlight, presentation, and stage the size WWE is able to give out to their talent the way that they have given it to Penta. It just wasn't happening. He had to come to WWE to be the level that he is at now. Title or no title, Penta everywhere else, Penta and WWE.
So just really quick, I just want to go back to January 2025 and just review, and just remind people of what, some of Penta's major highlights in his career in the WWE, starting with his debut. He came in, he faced Chad Gable. He won. He had a few matches with Chad Gable, both on TV and off TV. And then right off the bat, the very first Royal Rumble was that same year. And I believe he did that major face-off with Rey Mysterio where it was just him and Rey in the middle of the ring, right?
At the Rumble, I believe.
Yeah, at the Royal Rumble.
Massive pop.
Yeah.
Massive pop.
So that was a great way to bring him in. In his first month, he's in the Rumble, and he gets to rub shoulders with Rey Mysterio.
Dude, yeah. They rolled out the red carpet for the guy off the bat. Yeah. And by the way, his debut match was against Chad Gable. Yeah. Chad was the perfect partner for him. Chad is one of the most underrated professional wrestlers of his generation, and the dude is a shoot legit Olympian.
Yeah.
And literally, that was one of the best, and I am not using hyperbole here, I'm not over-exaggerating. Penta's debut match against Chad Gable and the second one they had, but the first one, to me, is inarguably one of the greatest wrestling debut for WWE matches I've ever fucking.
Yeah. Shout out to 40th Street Black 79. His spotlight is definitely bigger in the WWE. Yeah, much bigger for sure.
Shout out to Extreme Professional Wrestling in the comments. Penta was also the Iron Man of last year's Rumble. So his first accolade in WWE came within 3 weeks. You know how WWE loves their stats.
Yeah.
And they're going to bring it up this next weekend at the Rumble when he comes in. Penta was the Iron Man of 2025 Royal Rumble. It'll be the first thing they mention when he comes out.
Yeah.
That's a stat. That is an accolade. He was the Iron Man of 2025. That's better. First 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's even better. So, yeah, man, his first month, he's already hitting stats and doing all these crazy things. And then his first IC title match was in March, 2 months after his debut versus Braun Breaker. He didn't win, but he also had an out. Braun Breaker retained the Intercontinental Championship by disqualification. I don't remember the details of that match, but his first title match 2 months in versus Braun Breaker, I mean, one of the baddest motherfuckers in the roster today.
I want to say that I'm trying to remember what happened. I want to say it was something to do with like Finn Balor or something. Like I remember like because a year ago, God, it's so crazy. A year ago doesn't feel like a long time, but like when you're thinking like a year ago, Braun Breaker was the Intercontinental Champion, right? That's crazy considering he just vied for the fucking World Heavyweight Championship on the first fucking Raw of this year. You know, it's kind of like what a difference a year makes. Yeah. He was in the mid card before Mania last year, and he's in the main event now. It's just, you know, so when I think about that, I want to say it had something to do with Balor. I could be wrong, but I remember this is around that time where there were several people in the IC Championship conversation. Sheamus, Braun Breaker, Penta, Finn Balor, Ludwig Kaiser. It was like a whole set of guys specifically every week that were just for that title. I want to say it was interference due to, I want to think Finn or Chad Gable, possibly something. Priest says crash and burn. I think Priest might have gotten involved, but that seems weird. He was a babyface, but I digress. But yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Sean Anthony. This question or this comment is a little unrelated, but I'm still going to read it. We'll get back to Penta. He says, I just don't understand who valued an R-Truth contract over Carlito's contribution to Judgment.
No offense. Love Carlito. He wasn't doing fuck all. And even though R-Truth was probably doing equal amounts of fuck all, R-Truth has had two tenureships with the business that damn near hit 20 years. R-Truth is massively beloved backstage. R-Truth is considered a massive friend to the people up top. He was very close to Vince. He's close to Triple H. We find out in the damn documentary for the Unreal Season 2, his best friend is Road Dogg, one of the head writers and the guy who was in charge of all the producers. R-Truth was basically, you know, the guy you don't touch. They even say it in the Unreal documentary. There's just one guy you don't fire. R-Truth was that guy because he's kind of a glue for everybody backstage. So it's not always about what you can provide on screen that makes your contract more valuable than another. It's about what you bring to the team as a collective. And R-Truth, far more valuable in that respect. After especially a tenureship that he...
Yeah, and... Look, good thing they did keep him because we got to see a match between Cena and R-Truth. A great moment for all the fans. You know, I really enjoyed that match too. And Carlito, they had him for what they needed him for that Puerto Rican show, you know, for the LWO reunion and all that shit. But after that, it was just like, okay, now what do we do with them? We don't really have anything for him, so why do her type thing, right?
Which is funny because when they're in the Puerto Rico Backlash show, he wasn't even re-signed to WWE at that point. He was a guest at that point. He got re-signed a couple months later. He wasn't even with them then. So they signed him back with absolutely no fucking plans for him. And then when he wrestled, he was slow, he was sluggish, he didn't match the style of the people in the ring that he was around, so he didn't seem like he fit. So they kept him off of screen wrestling for a long time. And they were just like, you're going to be the comedy character now.
Yeah.
You know, like they were like, you're just going to be the Judgment Day mascot. That's what he became. So, you know, R-Truth did it better. So they were like, well, why do we need you? You know?
Shout out to Brandon, says, you're El Grande Americano. I wish I was that talented and good looking like the greatest luchador of all time, but no, I'm not. If I was, I wouldn't tell you. But, so that was Penta's first IC title match. His second one was at WrestleMania. In his first year, he got a spot on the card of WrestleMania where he was in a fatal 4-way versus Dom, Finn, and Braun Breaker. And that's the one where Dom won.
By pinning Finn. Yeah. Great match. Great fucking match, by the way. I love that match. You know, the IC title picture for me for the last 2 years hasn't disappointed because there are so many former indie guys, workhorse guys. Like, you get some really great shit out of that IC championship the last 2-3 years, haven't we? That match to me was one of the standouts of the weekend.
Yeah.
I think still that one and God, the triple threat between Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre for the IC championship where Gunther fucking powerbombed Sheamus onto Drew's back to finish the match. Like, the IC title scene always excites me. It's arguably my favorite title in professional wrestling history, White Strap. And but Penta just fits that workhorse mentality. He fits what that championship represents. And to be in the company for 3 months and then be in a Mania slot that so many other people aren't in really does, again, speak to what the company thinks of you, what they believe in you, what they want to have for you. And they're willing to hitch their fucking cart to you. And all that means is that if they thought Penta was lazy or didn't have it or didn't have an ability to connect, or if they thought that he was lackluster, they wouldn't do that. Yeah. They see a future with him, a marketable future where their business relations align, and they're seeing the future, the torch passing of Rey Mysterio to Penta. That's what he is here for. You can smell it in the air. And we see that happening now where he's teaming with Dragon Lee and freaking Rey Mysterio for the last couple of weeks. They're trying to show you, hey, these guys are a lineage of 100 years of lucha libre. This is so important to the professional wrestling history, but to WWE, they're always about that next era. And you've seen Rey through 3 fucking goddamn eras. Now, when Rey's on his way out, he's already a Hall of Famer. You think he's wrestling another 2 years? No, he's not. Who's going to fill that hole? Look, there's Penta. He's got everything in common that made Rey Mysterio himself great. Great with kids, audience connection. Genuinely, the audience feels like they know him. They want to be with him. He comes out. Same thing Rey does. He touches the kids with the Zero Miedo. He touches them on their masks.
You might want to rephrase that one.
Well, I mean, sorry. He does this. He does the Zero Miedo bump. Okay. Like he does that with the kids. He does what Rey. You know how Rey comes out with the kids and he puts his forehead to their forehead and he whispers a prayer to them or says something encouraging to the kids. Penta does the same thing. There's just something about lucha libre in general. I've always thought has a legitimate, genuine intimacy with the fans. And not intimacy in a romantic way, intimacy in this is very, it's very pure. And you see that when Penta's out there, this shit means something to him. And that Unreal documentary, it really opened my eyes when I saw him with those kids at his training school in Mexico. I genuinely did not know just how much this business meant to him. He's literally teaching and training a future generation of wrestlers right fucking now. Yeah. And I fucking love the guy. What can I say? I love the guy.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely in the long game when it comes to Penta, because I think we were all expecting when we found out that both Penta and Rey Fenix were going to be in the WWE. It's like, oh, well, man, they're going to be in a tag team. And nope. Penta goes to Raw, Rey goes to SmackDown. So, because everyone's complaining oh, they haven't done anything with Penta, which is total bullshit. We're literally breaking it down right now. That proves that's incorrect. But imagine, Penta shows up. He wins the IC title right off the bat. They put him in their tag team, the Lucha Bros, with Rey Fenix in his first year. And then what do you do with him after that? You already gave us everything that we wanted with Penta.
You got to save some shit. Yeah. You got to save some shit. You got to keep building up goodwill with the audience. Yeah. Shout out in the comments to Mad Spider, who says, do you see Penta as a future world champ? I do.
Yeah.
I do. Even if it's one time, I sure as shit do.
Yeah.
He's got a much bigger build than Rey, so you can't call him the little underdog. He's got just as much high flying ability and technical ability that Rey does for sure, and he's younger. Yeah. I definitely see him as a champion at least once. Fuck, put that Money in the Bank briefcase on him next year or this year. Let him cash in on somebody.
I can see it. Sean Anthony says world champ. Nah, I mean, you also got to think about who are the current champion right now is CM Punk. How much more time does he have left? Yes, we have Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker who are being pushed right now as being the next top guys, but they're going to need people to feud with. Penta has been feuding with Breaker on and off since last year. Last year, since March. If you put the title on Braun Breaker, you best believe Penta's going to be right there, right behind him, trying to get a shot.
And before anybody says, well, Breaker would just blow through Penta, Why don't you go back and watch that match that he had with him last year? Why don't you go back and watch him take Braun Breaker to the fucking limit? Okay? Penta is main event level material. I promise you, this guy is out there rubbing shoulders with guys that are in the main event. If he's giving guys in the main event a hard time, he's main event level. Because if they wouldn't have him rubbing shoulders with Rey Mysterio if they didn't see him as a future main eventer. Rey Mysterio, I don't care. You can put Rey Mysterio anywhere on the fucking card. Rey Mysterio will always be considered a main eventer. Doesn't matter where he is, doesn't matter what title he's vying for. That is a main eventer just subbing into different spots.
Shout out to James Schley. Sorry, I botched your name.
Jamaz
says, please explain what WWE has done with Penta. They've split him from his brother. Well, thank you for joining us. For the last 30 minutes, we've been breaking this down, but let's do a quick recap. They split him up from his brother. Yes, they're going to reunite in AAA soon, but so far he was in the Royal Rumble in like a few weeks after his debut. He was, I think, the Iron Man of the Royal Rumble, which means he was one of the longest competitors that was in the Rumble.
He was the longest competitor.
The longest. He also got to rub shoulders with Rey Mysterio, which got a huge pop, a memorable moment. And then that same year, a couple months later, he had his first IC title match. Penta has had 6 Intercontinental Championship matches in just TV matches, not dark matches, TV matches in the year of 2025. That's a lot of title matches. No, he didn't win it, but he's in that title picture. He's been having great matches.
Also, keep in mind, before you say, well, if he was so good, he would have won them. Almost every single IC title match he was in last year, aside from the Fatal 4-Way at Mania, which was no DQ anyway, he was cheated out of almost every victory due to shenanigans, due to interference, cheating behind the ref's back, blind sight, all that shit, interference. He never lost clean.
So yeah, his booking has been great. I mean, these 6 title matches, one of them was, at Mania. Another one was at Backlash. He had one, I don't know if you remember this one, I forgot. But the day after Mania, he had another title shot for the IC title versus Dominic Mysterio. Literally the Raw after Mania. And, matches at Saturday night's main event. And he was also part of the John Cena farewell tour. They've been doing a lot with Penta. Like the fact that people are like, oh, the WWE hasn't done anything. Bro, like what more do you guys want? The only reason I feel like he lost at the John Cena tournament was because he got injured. Yeah. Hell, he could have maybe even won and continued on.
The reports were he was supposed to beat Solo. Those were the reports. He was supposed to beat Solo when he got injured. They had to call an audible and have Solo win. He was supposed to win. So, I mean, look, if WWE was like, oh, we don't know what the fuck to do with this guy, they wouldn't put him on TV. They wouldn't even put him they would put him in to job out every now and again and let him sit in catering like Akira Tozawa and fucking Otis, or just pop him in a backstage segment real quick. They it's not like he's R-Truth where they go, hey, we'll bring you out once a year, or Natalia, we'll bring you out once a year, have you in a backstage segment, and then fucking no one sees you again. We're just there for the pop backstage. No, this dude is everywhere. He's in everything. Yeah. He was in 2 tournaments last year. Two. Okay. He was also in the King of the Ring tournament. So it's like, dude, you can't sit here and act like WWE hasn't done anything with him. They're trying to do everything with him because he's in everything, and he's great in everything.
Yeah. And that's part of the reason why the WWE doesn't have him in the tag team with the Lucha Bros, at least not yet, because they see him as a solo star. Like, I mean, when he was in AEW, he was with the, in the tag team division with his brother, because I mean, I think he had a couple solos matches here and there, but that was it. He didn't really get pushed as a solos competitor. That's the difference between AEW and WWE. Here in the WWE, he is getting that opportunity and he's taking advantage of it. James also says, if you only see him as a tag team guy, put him back with his brother and let the Usos have a go. Yeah, that would be cool to see. That is a wonderful dream match. The Lucha Bros versus the Usos. Yeah, who wouldn't want to see that? But also, think about what Penta can do as a singles competitor. Look at what he's done so far in just 1 year. I mean, the dude is just getting started, and he's only like, he's like 40 years old, but in wrestling,
that's his prime.
I mean, you still got like 10 years at least.
I mean, how old is Ray, for fuck's sake? Ray's like
50.
Ray's got to be in his 50s. Yeah, like you want to talk about like his prime. R-Truth still wrestles and moves like a 29, 32-year-old. R-Truth is like 54. So R-Truth is the oldest person, active wrestling competitor on the WWE roster. He's in his mid-50s, and he just had a title match, or it was a non-title match, with John fucking Cena last year. Penta, as far as WWE's roster is concerned, he's still got a long career ahead of him, period. He just does.
Sean Anthony, have the Usos had a match since they won the titles, or am I bugged?
They haven't even defended them, I don't think, yet.
They just been sending out warning shots. Bow!
Yeah, it's a warning shot every fucking week. Like, I guess Jimmy must not be on that European tour. He must be at home, because I think we're getting close to the time where Naomi's about to pop. Because she went out right before SummerSlam, she had to drop the title, or was it right after? But she was already like 3 months pregnant at the time.
I think that's what's happening, because I saw like a post about it, or Jey Uso. Oh no, it was the last promo that Jey Uso did during commercial break, where he was like, shout out to Naomi and Jim or something like that.
Yeah, because it's Extreme Professional Wrestling says it was August, the week right after SummerSlam, the Monday Night Raw after. So that's August. She was already 3 months fucking pregnant then. So that's September, October, November, December, January. This girl's at 9 fucking months.
She's about to pop.
I wouldn't want to be on a European tour either. Shit, man, you think I'm gonna miss the birth of my first child? Hell no.
It makes sense why they were coming out doing promos.
Yeah. Can you imagine? It's kind of crazy too. I love it, because Jimmy and Jay, I think, both turned 40 last year, or they turned 40 this year. This man is, Jimmy is
the same age?
Twins.
Who's older?
Jimmy, because that's why they call him Big Jim.
I'm kidding.
I think he's older by like 9 minutes or something, but still, like, it's kind of crazy. Like, Jay has his kids, and Jimmy has kids with another former partner. But like, he's having his first kid with Naomi at 40. So I'm like, oh goddamn, bro, you picked the worst time where your sleep gets worse. 40 years old, bro. Holy shit, this is the worst possible time for you to be like, oh, back to no sleep schedule.
Yeah,
and travel the world. Oh my God, poor guy.
Yeah.
But Big Jim, what do you say? He's like, I ain't Slim Jim or whatever.
I don't know. Is that what he said? That's funny. James says, can Jimmy even travel on the European tour? I think he can. I think they're cleared off all that shit. Because
it was really Canada, I think they were banned from, wasn't it?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they can, because they've been going to Saudi Arabia and shit, haven't they?
Yeah, there was only like 2 places, if I remember correctly, they were banned from. It was like due to like DUI or something in Canada or something. They weren't allowed in Canada. And then it was somewhere else due to a comment or a tweet or a post or something. But that's all been ironed out. So,
yeah. So I guess they won't be defending the titles at Saturday Night's Main Event this.
No, I think tomorrow we're going to find out if we get a 4th match added or not.
So yeah, the final thing that I just want to talk about Penta here when it comes to his 1 year in the WWE is the other major moment, major highlight of this run so far was the Money in the Bank match.
That match was great.
Yeah. So they're giving Penta a lot, man. They're giving him a lot of dope matches, a lot of great moments, a lot of stuff here, man. And it's working. He's over. The kids love him. And hey, even Paul Heyman loves him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Who wouldn't? I mean, you saw him backstage on Unreal. The dude is so humble. He's so grateful for the opportunity. He's so willing to be there and learn and just soak it all in. All he wants to do is be the absolute best performer. He literally said, I came to WWE because I want to be the best luchador in WWE. Yeah. You can't be mad at an attitude like that. That's such a great positive attitude for your career and your work ethic. And I mean, the guy's busting his ass.
Yeah.
Shout out to Crash and Burn in the comments. It's not related to the topic, but it's a question for both of us. Wipe one talent from the 2000s. RVD or Jeff Hardy? Me personally, I'd rather you wipe me out so I don't have to choose. But
God damn.
I'm gonna say you got to wipe RVD out. You are not getting rid of Jeff Hardy on me like that. I'm sorry. Jeff Hardy was what I was a wrestling fan since 2002. Jeff Hardy's what made me fall in love with it and stay with it when I had my team.
You know what? I kind of feel the same way, but say we get rid of Jeff Hardy, we probably wouldn't be seeing as many fucking horrible ladders and tables and TLC matches as much as we do nowadays. Some of those are just fucking... I blame Jeff Hardy for...
You got to blame Edge and Christian too. You know?
Yeah, you're right. I guess it would have still happened. About it this way, with or without Jeff Hardy, it would have still happened.
But RVD really cut his teeth in ECW anyway. So if you get rid of him, not a lot changes. Jeff was the much bigger star in WWE. So I think if you get rid of Jeff Hardy, that's a much bigger blow to WWE history.
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, I was just joking. But yeah, RVD. Love you, RVD. But yeah, gotta stay with my boy Jeff. But yeah, anything else when it comes to Penta Blood? I think we got time for one more topic before we get out of here.
Only thing on Penta left remaining to say is he's one of those guys that you have high expectations for. And regardless of how you feel like, oh, they're not giving him the spot I want him to be in this, expectation, the reality so far. The dude is insane. He's exceeded all my expectations. And I think WWE, one of the smartest bits of business they've done in the last 2 years was bring that fucking man over, because he's a genuine fucking star. Again, generation to generation, some people just have it. And he has it in spades, bro.
Yeah, I mean, they've brought other guys from AEW that, I don't know if it's just Penta, he's just that good. He's really taking advantage of the moments being given. But like Andrade, he came in, supposedly was going to be a fresh new run for him. Oh, he just came back from AEW. We're going to show them. They didn't do shit with him.
They kept that receipt, returned his ass. Like, I mean, think about it. Like, look who just came over from AEW. Ethan Page, Ricky Saints. And notice how WWE sent them both straight to NXT. And Penta went straight to the main roster. That tells you, because you could argue they were all technically the same level over in AEW. Here, they were like, out of the three of you, Penta is obviously the megastar. And he has proven it time and time again. So...
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with Penta in this new year, 2026, man. With all the shit that they've done with him last year, which even though a lot of people were like, oh, they haven't done shit. That's not. It's going to be interesting to see what they do this year.
Fans are entitled. Fans are too entitled. Give it to me now. Give it. I would understand that feeling that you have for someone like LA Knight not getting his due, right? Or Chad Gable not getting the due, who've been there for several years and have had a million chances where WWE could have done something super important with them, gotten them over, kept them in the main event longer, given them title matches or pushes or as champions. Penta, however, in 1 year, did more in that 1 year than Chad Gable has been given the opportunity to do in his entire WWE career, and has had a much more impactful year on the WWE than LA Knight had the entire first half, and didn't even really get much shit to do until the end of last year. I'm sorry. If you have a problem with what Penta's been doing lately, you're not paying attention to what Penta's been doing.
No, not at all. And I'm going to bite. And this comment right here, I'm curious to see what they're going to say. James says, but it's not just Penta that frustrates me. Look at what they're doing with God from New Japan. Who the fuck do you think they're talking about?
God from New Japan?
Yeah.
Who the fuck?
I want to know.
Is there a gimmickry package I don't know about? And God was the name of New Japan? And
I don't know.
Is he talking about Shinsuke?
They're probably going to...
Was Shinsuke God in
Akira
New
Tozawa?
Yo, back off Akira.
The Gorillas of Destiny. The Gorillas of Destiny. The MFTs.
Oh, the Tongas. Them... That shit right there just that pisses me off because, well, at the same time, it's not entirely their fault because let's be honest, Tonga Loa is trash. Ever since he's come to WWE, he has been ass. Botch after botch after botch into an injury. I mean, first War Games injured, literally fucks up and botches his own debut, misses the timing. misses the timing on his return. Like, I mean, Tama is clearly the more credible wrestler and performer out of the both of them. Then you got like JC Mateo, Jacob, who was formerly, whatever. I'm blanking for no reason, but Jeff Cobb. And I mean, they relegated these guys to stand behind Solo and look menacing. So that I completely agree. They done fucked up all the MFTs. Solo should have just gone on a singles run after the Bloodline story ended. I don't even think they should have gone to Raw last year for the Tribal Chief Combat match. I think it should have ended at War Games the year prior, but all this could have been avoided. You just kept Solo a serious character and Solo on his own.
So I know earlier I said we had time for one more, but I just remembered, got to get ready for the next live, Mr. Bludd. We're running a little bit late tonight, so I apologize. But if you guys want to keep hanging out, catch us over on YouTube, Facebook, or X at Snug Wrestling. And if you will, Mr. Bludd, please take us.
Yes, thank you guys for joining us on TikTok Live for our Thursday night one-on-one sessions where we go over random or relevant wrestling topics with myself, Mr. and the head of Snug Wrestling, Edgar, right there at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, and 8 o'clock Central every single week. If you like hanging out with us, you can hang out with us more on Mondays and Fridays after Raw and SmackDown go off the air respectively for live post-show reviews and for bonus content, segment-to-segment live reaction content from Edgar on all social medias. Remember to kick it with us next week on Wednesday for the predictions for Royal Rumble, which is next weekend. Hang out with us on Twitter, X, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live for predictions at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 o'clock Central on Wednesday next week for predictions. Again, guys, until next time, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and stay safe, stay savage, and stay snug.